So I really like Stratocasters, believe it or not. There's just something about the neck pickup on a Strat playing really hard into a clean push to amp. It's just so good. The main thing I don't like about Strats is the trem system. I usually just block it off with a 9-volt battery or a piece of wood or something, mainly because I buy a lot of low-end guitars with poor tuners, so the tuning stability with a floating trem, I guess it's not a floating trem, just a normal trem system, always kind of leaves me hanging. But I'm looking to change that today because I want to get this Strat up and running. I really just want one Strat that does that classic Strat sound really well. So this is my project for that. I'm going to do the tuners today, and I'm going to do locking tuners for the first time. I feel like I've been missing out. A lot of people like locking tuners. I'm excited to check these out. My friends at Guyker sent me these locking tuners that are very affordable, and they should just drop into this Strat, which would be nice because I have a hard time finishing projects. So if these just drop in, it'll be very helpful for me. I'll actually get something done. We're going to put the Strat on the table, drop these tuners in, hopefully, and then we'll see the tuning stability after we do a lot of trem stuff. So I'm not saying I want to do any dive bombs or anything, but I do want to, you know, just a little bit. Let's take this thing over to the table and put in some new tuners. All right, my work table's way too small, but we're gonna work with it. We're gonna cut the strings off, drop out the tuners, and we'll keep going. It'd be nice to not wind strings. I believe that's one of the benefits of locking tuners. Strings are off, let's go ahead and take off these tuners and put on the lock. These are your standard low budget Strat style tuners, and they just have the one screw, so we should just be able to pop these out and pop the new ones in. Anyways, one screw on the back. What is this? And it should pop right out. There we go. I believe I'm taking this washer. Now we've got the locking tuner, and then we have the top part with the washer. The locking part goes behind. I'll do it lightly. It does look like the angle is going to be off just a little bit. You could re-drill that screw if you want for it to line up right, but I don't care. They're all going to be slightly off, it looks like. If you want to put in the extra work, you can. I'm not one to do that. All right, we got the new top. Slides right in. Tighten that down. And that's pretty much it, right? There you go. Got a new tuner on there. And that's the locking part. Oh, that is fun. Look at that. Oh, that's cool. Like I said, I've never done locking tuners before. So we're gonna go ahead and do the other 5, and then we'll check back. Here's the overhead view is what I'm talking about. This specific guitar, that is going to be at an angle, which isn't going to be a big deal once we get these all in, but it does look kind of silly next to this one that hasn't been changed yet. All right, let's get the rest of these changed. Where do I even start? Well, it's been more than 1 or 2 weeks. Probably closer to 2 months, to be honest. I just forgot to make the last part of this video here. I'll just say I was like really stress testing these. I think I bought like 3 guitars since the first part of that video. I have many problems. Time management and buying guitars. But you know what is not a problem? These tuners. I honestly love these tuners. I could tell right away, way better tuning stability. All I really wanted was a guitar with a floating trem, or a trem bridge, not a floating trem. That I could do that too. Like specifically, that's what I wanted. Just a little bit of trem on chords. And honestly, the cheap tuners that were on this and many cheap guitars just weren't cutting it for me. And they never really do, to the point where I wouldn't recommend a lower end guitar with a trem bridge. Just because the tuners aren't really that good. Never really gonna hold tune for any kind of trem work, in my opinion. I would always block off the trem. I would shove a 9-volt battery in there. And that helped, but there's always gonna be some level of tuning problems with low-end guitars. And that's not me saying low-end guitars are bad. All I have are low-end guitars. When I was playing live, I was playing First Decks, Squires, Epiphones, stock tuners. Everything was fine. I loved it when people would come up to me during or after the show and be like, oh, your tone's great. What guitar are you using? Oh, it's a First Act. Yeah, great reaction every time. But you are constantly tuning those things. And you should still tune quite often. I'm not promoting not tuning. But these tuners do make things way easier. They hold tune better. They're locking tuners. Spend a little bit less time putting strings on and off. They stay in tune better. What more can you ask for? Now, I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of are locking tuners better than standard tuners? Because I actually have no idea. In my opinion, based on my experience so far with these, it's been a couple months compared to like a Grover tuner. I like these better. Grover tuners are great. These ones I like better. And they're about half the price, I think, of a Grover tuner. So in my opinion, yes, they do hold better. I haven't done any actual tests to confirm that. That's all personal opinion. Take that for what it's worth. And the fact that these just dropped in makes my life so much better. So $30 for a set of drop-in locking tuners. What more can you ask for? I want to put them on all my guitars now. So after 2 months, I still love these tuners, but I did want to come back and make sure I talked about these tuners after I used them for a while. There's a certain level of like novelty and fun when you first get something new. Novelty's worn off now. I still like these tuners. So I personally, based on my use of them, would recommend these tuners. If you're interested, I'll have a link in the description to their website. Whole bunch of different styles to choose from, whole bunch of different colors, and then I'll follow up with another video soon upgrading the Guyker guitar with more tuners, and we'll talk about those then. And I think that's all I got for this video. If you guys have any questions or feedback for me, make sure to leave a comment. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you all in the next one.